So in this video, I want to look at multiplying and dividing algebraic fractions. But before we get into that, let's remind ourselves how we multiplied and divided fractions where there was no algebra. So let's say we had 2/5 times 3/8. What you did was you needed to multiply the numerators together. So you would have 2 times 3 is 6. And then the denominators get multiplied together. 5 times 8 is 40. And then in this case, we can simplify this fraction down because we can divide top and bottom by 2, and we will get 3/20. So 3/20 is our answer. So we need to multiply the numerators together, multiply the denominators together. So if I instead had 2/x, and I needed to multiply that by, let's say, x plus 1/5, then what I need to do is multiply the numerators together and multiply the denominators together. So multiplying the numerators together, I need to multiply 2 by x plus 1. Now that's the same as having it written like this, okay, as a job of expanding a single bracket. And of course, x times 5 I can write as 5x. So now if I expand that numerator, I need to do 2 times x, which is 2x, and then 2 times 1, oh, whoops, missed, 2 times 1, which is 2. And so I've got 2x plus 2/5x. Now, in some contexts, it might have been more useful to leave it in that factorised form in the numerator. Really depends on the question and what you need to do with it. But if you can go straight from this to this without writing out that intermediate step, then that is perfectly fine also. Okay? So this is how we multiply fractions together, algebraic or not. Okay, so let's just do one more example. Let's say we've got 5/x plus 1, and we need to multiply that by x plus 2/x plus 1. Okay, so if I'm multiplying these two fractions together, I need to multiply the numerators together. So this is, as I said, the same as 5 lots of x plus 2 in a bracket. So if I do 5 times x, I get 5x, and then 5 times the 2 gets me 10. And in the denominator, I've got x plus 1 times x plus 1. So x times x is x squared. X times 1, and then 1 times x, add together to make 2x. And then 1 times 1. And so I have this fraction. Okay? So that is how we multiply fractions together, and it's a case of using your techniques of expanding single and double brackets here. Okay, let's take a look at division then. So let's say that instead I wanted to work out what 2/5 divided by 3/8 was. Okay? Now the technique here was to keep it as 2/5, but dividing by 3/8 is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal of 3/8. Now the reciprocal just meant flipping it upside down. The numerator becomes the denominator becomes the numerator. So 3/8, the reciprocal of that is 8/3. We then multiply the fractions together. So we multiply the numerators, 2 times 8 is 16. 5 times 3, multiply the denominators together, is 15. So our answer here is 16/15. So then if I was to look at an algebra example, let's say I had 6/x and I needed to divide that, by, let's say, x plus 1/2. Then what we do is we keep the left-hand fraction as it is, and instead multiply by the reciprocal of this fraction, so 2 over x plus 1. We then multiply the numerators. 6 times 2 is 12. Multiply the denominators together. So this is x times x plus 1. So x times x is x squared. X times 1 is x. So I would have 12 over x squared plus x. Let's look at one more example. So let's say I've got 4 plus x over 3, and I want to divide that by, let's say, x over 5. So I keep the left-hand fraction as it is, 4 plus x over 3, and now multiply by the reciprocal of the right-hand fraction, so 5 over x. So 4 plus x times 5, 4 times 5 is 20, x times 5 is 5x. And now multiply the denominators together, 3 times x is 3x. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at some more examples of this in the next video.